Yo, welcome to the Scoop with Dukes. I'm your host, Philip Dukes, aka Dukes D Scoop. Check me out on Twitter and Instagram at Dukes D Scoop. And please be sure to hit the like and subscribe button. Listen, I know a lot of times the intro is longer. I ain't got time today. Falcons training camp, day 4. Don't matter. This is what we're here to talk about. James Pearce Jr. is a guy. Um, I know it's just preseason. I know we've gotten excited about guys who've done things in training camp before. I think this one is different, y'all. Every time I go to the Falcoholic, and make sure if you haven't tapped in, go tap in with Kevin Knight and Adnan Ikic of the Falcoholic. Every time I go check out Mark Raymundi of ESPN.com, they always mention James Pearce Jr. every single time. He's getting in the fights. The vets are backing him up. A sack had another sack today. Another tackle for loss today. They said he could have had 2 sacks. This is why I'm so excited about James Pearce Jr. He's got a nasty attitude on the field. He doesn't care about making friends. They said he's already vocal in the locker room. At Tennessee, you had people that said he had character concerns and he rubbed people the wrong way. Well, I heard there were people that felt like he didn't have an off switch. And for a defensive end in the NFL, you got to stay on. I saw him run the 40 at the combine. I'm going to say it every day. I'm so excited. I'm glad I got to witness it. The boy is a freak athlete at the size that he is. He's still a 4.4 40. You're not outrunning him. A quarterback like that takes away the Jalen Hurts rolling to the right. Not against him. Not against Pierce. Lamar Jackson, hello. You don't have to be a 4.3. All you need to do is be a 4. If you got a 4.4 at an angle, a 4.3 can't outrun him to the corner. He does so much for the Falcons. And right now, I know people want to hear more about Jaylen Walker, and I get it and I understand. But I couldn't be more happy about the development, the early returns on James Pearce Jr. Let's go to the Falcoholic. This is actually day 5. This is the day 5. So this is my man Adnan Ikic of the Falcoholic. Make sure you give him a follow on Twitter. It's at SAYWHICH way. Say which way. That's my man Adnan Ikic. All right, cool. So I want to go straight to the James Pearce stuff. This is what he had to say about James Pearce today. Standout rookie outside linebacker James Pearce Jr. continued his strong work at camp. He also got a lot of rotation in with the first team after running almost exclusively with the second team the past 3 practices. During Cousins' own red zone portion of drills, he was under pressure seemingly every snap, and it started with Pearce Jr. penetrating through the line and sacking Cousins before Rojo did the same thing on the very next play. Pearce, a couple of plays later, got a tackle for a loss. And this is the last statement on Pearce. Overall, Pearce has wreaked havoc the past few days against mostly the starting offensive line. His strong performance seems destined to continue against the backups. So what's that mean? He's saying it'll continue against the backups because that means you got to get this boy some first team reps. So they usually go 1s versus 2s. Offense 1s versus the second team defense. Second, and vice versa. Second team offense versus first team defense. When you see a rookie getting reps, this is day 5, y'all. This ain't a fluke. He was whooping the first team. They wanted to fight him. Like tough guys. Caleb McGarry wanted to fight him. They wanted to fight Bergeron. They wanted to fight this dude. And I'll say this, usually when a rookie is in the wrong or in the right because, you'll get somebody that says, hey, Rook, man, when Leonard Floyd goes to catch a back as a veteran, that says a lot. For a pass rush starved team, we haven't had a consistent pass rusher since the flash in the pan that was Vic Beasley. And when I tell you that was a magnificent flash, it was a glorious flash. Could never repay Vic Beasley for what he gave to the Falcons in the year that he went nuts. All right. But you haven't seen any consistent pass rush since then. You haven't had anybody who could set the edge with multiplicity or duality. Either you put a pass rusher on the edge where you knew that if you ran it at him, it's probably going to be a positive yard. It's probably going to be 4 positive yards. Or you had a run stopper on the edge that you knew can't get to the quarterback, but not a guy who can do both. James Pearce Jr. gives you the ability to have someone who can set the edge in a run game. He has the ability to long arm a tackle, then snatch and pull, or a guy who can convert speed to power and literally just bull rush up the field because nobody, or he could just dip his shoulder and get around you. Like, this guy's a freak athlete. It's been so long. You guys got to understand. To my true Falcons fans, you got to understand how exciting it is to be able to say, you know what, on third downs, we have somebody that can get us off the field. Even with the John Abraham days, you knew on third downs there was a chance of a sack. The Falcons have been in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks for the past 5-6 years. I think I'm not even going to get a official stat for that. I know there's a stat. They may be like 32nd, 31st, 28th, 27th. Don't matter. They're in the bottom 5 since Vic Beasley, basically. Okay, cool. Do you know how many opportunities they gave up for the dome to go? Excuse me, the Mercedes for the Benz to go crazy. Just think about this. When Vic Beasley or someone used to come up with that sack on third down, it was like a turnover. That sack on third down is a game changer. Not being able to get those in obvious pass situations. Listen, when I'm obvious pass situations, we ain't tricking you. We don't have to keep an extra blocker in. Obvious pass situations. And the Falcons have not been able to get off the field consistently. Even the threat of a pass rusher makes you keep an extra receiver in. The tight end can't go on this route. The running back has to block. The Falcons have been facing the full cachet of opposing offenses for years because they didn't have a pass rush. And then the move of all moves, after Mike Penix last year, and I was like, why did we draft him after drafting Kirk Cousins? Signing Kirk Cousins to gobs of money. I was forced to eat some crow. I had to eat my words. So, and gladly, because I love Mike Penix. I think he's a great quarterback. But even then, I said there's no offense to Mike Penix. I just, it was a little. I'm starved for a winning season. Sometimes Falcons fans, we can get a little delusional, or we can get a little ahead of ourselves. So I didn't trip too hard when they traded up into the first round, used next year's first round pick to go into this year's first round, go back into this year's first round to get another edge rusher, James Pearce Jr. Arguably the most athletic guy in the draft. Between him and Abdul Carter, you didn't get to see Abdul do a whole lot of pre-draft stuff. So James Pearce, 1,000% probably the most athletic at the combine when it just came to size and speed. Shamar Stewart's a freak as well. But I digress. Now maybe I need to temper my expectations. I know people are going to say, Dukes, it's still July. And I'm going to say July, as in you lie. Because I know it's bigger than this. I know it's deeper than this. I know this may be what we've been begging and asking for and praying for years. A pass rusher. Not just a pass rusher. The beauty of it all is we still haven't gotten a chance to see Jaylen Walker, who they say he's the other first round pick out of Georgia, UGA, who basically almost beat Texas by himself last year at Georgia. We haven't gotten a chance. We haven't really had the chance to see him yet. He's been nursing the injury, so got some clarity on that situation. But I feel like it'll be more of the same. But man, James Pearce Jr. has taken advantage of the extra reps, and you gotta love a guy who understands the moment and doesn't just shy away from it. He runs to the fire. He wants it. We may be James Pearce Jr. Hey man, my vote of confidence for sure. But let's run down the rest of practice just so you guys know what's going on. But I had to make sure that everybody knows how I feel about James Pearce Jr. as we continue this Falcons content, which is new for my page. But hey, man, lifelong Falcons fan. I've been in journalism for a while. There aren't as many rules. Why not? Let's do the Falcons. All right, so another guy that I really like for the Falcons and I really hope to make the 53-man roster is Natron Brooks, cornerback out of Southern Mississippi. He's been close. I love his tackling ability. He's a guy who didn't run the fastest when he came out of school, so it affected him. But this may be the year he actually makes it. He's been running with the tools. Lamar Jackson, the other Lamar Jackson, who is another guy that I think should make the roster this year. But Brooks has had the unenviable task of guarding Drake London. They've had their battles, and Drake has won probably the majority of them. But Brooks has been fighting back, and he caught a pick. And it was like basically it looked like it was cover three. He had deep third. Penix saw 6'5" against Brooks. And Drake London throws the ball up. Brooks positioned perfectly. Jumps up, gets between he and the receiver, boxes him out basically, and makes a great interception. I think his tackling ability. I know he's playing a corner. I would love to see him get a shot at that nickel. I know they got some other guys there, but I just think he can do. I think he can do a lot of things. So Natron Brooks had a great day. Let's see what my man Adnan had to say about it. He said Natron Brooks is now in his third training camp with the Falcons, signing on as an undrafted free agent out of University of Southern Mississippi in 2023. In each of the past 2 years, he was waived in late August, became a mainstay on the practice squad with a couple of promotions onto the active roster in his career. So he's got some game experience. This year, it feels like his chances of making the 53-man roster going into week one are higher than they've ever been. He's been going one-on-one a lot against Drake London. While London has gotten the better of that matchup, Brooks hasn't been without his wins. Today, the big one was his interception in the end zone, out-positioning London one-on-one. Brooks was also the primary defender for what looked to be over half of Penix's incompletions on the day. You throw it at my boy Natron, it may be a problem. Okay? So Natron Brooks keep balling, man. Here goes some other quick notes that Adnan found. Kirk Cousins also completed the majority of his pass attempts, with the vast majority being a combination of slant screens and short flat routes. His home run throw to Washington was one of the best throws of camp. Okay. So that throw was against Natron Brooks, but hey, you win some, you lose some. Jordan Fuller got the starter reps today at safety. Xavier Watts, the safety, the rookie out of Notre Dame, was with the second team, and they continue to alternate day for day. So Xavier Watts and Jordan Fuller are in a battle for that safety position opposite Jesse Bates. Cornerback D. Alford is looking more and more like the starting nickel cornerback. He continues to get the starter reps ahead of cornerback Billy Bowman, who I thought was going to be a safety, but okay. And Khalid Kareem, outside linebacker, and Brandon Dorless got rotation with the first team today. All right. First and second team. And so did D'Angelo Malone, Bijan Robinson, or Bijan. Not Bijan, Bijan is how he said to pronounce it. But we're going to call him Bijan because we're in Atlanta. But so his cuts are incredibly hard for any defender to keep up with. Can't tackle him in the phone booth. Caleb Johnson began a lot of second team run. And Tegan Quitoriano got some starter reps again. And it looks like he's going to be your third tight end. I think my man Adnan won't be there for a while until, so we'll see where we get some information from. But man, when he's out there, he is very comprehensive and shoot, makes my job easy. So I appreciate it, man. So guys, if you haven't already, man, make sure you follow my man Adnan Ikic at Say Which Way on Twitter. Also Mark Raymundi, where we get a lot of our information from. But listen, the moral of the story is the Falcons seem to be poised for a playoff run. I'm excited, and I think that your guy, the most important player on this team right now is James Pearce Jr. Because if you can add 10 to 12 sacks, 8 sacks, I don't care, man. We just need somebody to go ahead and sack the quarterback. I got so excited I said we, but the Falcons. You know, I'm trying to keep my media stuff together. But hey, man, that's my time for today. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. If you have something you want a subject you want to see me talk about concerning the Falcons, so just let me know. Go check the playlist so you can see everything else that I've already put out. But man, we're growing it. We're growing it, low and slow. And shoot, man, you know, I can't wait till the season, man. All right, man, y'all take it easy for sure.